Hey my friend, welcome back to my channel. I'm Michael. Today I have a message for you. The video is titled How to Unfuck Your Day. And I'm going to give you 4 particular insights that I've garnered in my journey of unfucking my day over and over and over. And including today, some stuff that I had to put into practice. So here's the deal. I just want to give you a little story, a little context for why I felt the need, and probably why you might feel the need, to un-F your day, okay? Here's the deal. Last night, I arrived to Denver, Colorado, right? And you know, if you watch my channel, I'm in my Prius, and I'm driving around, and I sleep in my car because it's cheaper than a hotel. It's my own place, it's kind of nice, it's portable. Most places I've gone, I've just been able to crash in a parking lot. No problem, I put my little curtains up, no one can see in, I don't make noise, bing bong bop. However, last night, I arrived to a place that online said it was all kosher, no problem. By the way, I'm back here, I'm still here, I'm just hiding my eyes, it's bright. Anywho, I got to this place, and I think I got there around 9 or 10 p.m., and no problem, the security guard saw me show up, and then about 2:30 in the morning, I get the knock, the dreaded, you gotta go, you know, and I was like, oh, okay, bro. And then, you know, I'm just trying to search on my phone, and he's like knocking again. I'm just like, dude, I'm trying to search where to go. It's just like 2 seconds later, he wanted me to just peel off. I have my curtains up still, I can't just do that. And what the heck, I'm not just jumping for some security guard. Anyways, here's the deal. What that does to me, and maybe you either have this experience in a different context or maybe a similar context. If you know this experience, you'll feel rushes of tons of different and potentially distinct hormones and chemicals rushing through your body. I would say adrenaline is an obvious one. And the thing that happens in these contexts or in the situation when you're essentially triggered, you know, that's pretty triggering to be awoken with like a knock this far away from your head, you know. It's just unsettling, right? So the system goes into overdrive, the mind goes into overdrive. And what I had to catch myself in the moment to do, and from doing, was to spiral into the taking the emotions seriously and taking the thoughts very seriously. It's really hard to do sometimes, right? The system has its own program, and especially if we have backgrounds with trauma or anything like that, PTSD, which maybe probably you know about and have in your own right, in your own way, it's gonna cause this unconscious reaction. It's not something that you failed or you're bad or you're unconscious or you're ignorant. It's just your natural system's response, and probably for good reason. Imagine if you just felt like everything's fine all the time. Things would suddenly not be very fine for you eventually. So here's the deal, right? As I woke up, I had just all of this tense emotions and energy and thoughts just rushing and rambling, right? And I just wasn't willing to get stuck in it today. I said, how do I un-F my day? How do I un-F my day? And so here's the first tip on how to un-F your day when you have some kind of thing that causes you to feel triggered or out of balance or out of sorts. My friend, I know this is the last thing you want to do because I know it's the last thing I want to do, but I woke up in the car and I had to get to the gym. You got to get to the gym. You got to work out. You got to move your body. Maybe you can go on a run. Maybe you can do some calisthenics in your place, body weight workouts. Maybe you can do some yoga. Maybe you can do some stretching, whatever your version of it is. But you have to move your body to the point where your heart is pumping rapidly, because there's a point where you overcome the mental chatter and the nervous system calms. So you have to get vigorous activity going. Pretty much the first thing. Don't bother to try to assert your mind properly. I'm gonna meditate. My bro, you're not gonna meditate your way out of some of these things. You're gonna work with the chemical factory that you are to produce the better chemical constituency that serves you better today. All right, number 2. I think the first one was self-explanatory. Number 2 is a little more complex, a little more advanced, but it's also the least advanced thing that you could possibly practice, ironically. And it's called beginner's mind. I have a friend, actually the friend I'm here in Colorado visiting in the next days. Anytime I call him with a problem, he has very useful advice, but oftentimes he has a beginner's mind advice. What is beginner's mind? In my experience, it's that empty space, that empty mind, the mind before all the projection, the mind that you have, the stillness that you have in between the breaths, before the chatter comes back, before the emotions flare up and then you start to create stories about them. It's a practice that you develop through mindfulness meditation. You develop the space of the beginner's mind. Not knowing, not asserting, not projecting. Even if you maybe are accurate in your projection or your perception of reality, you need to develop the muscle or the mechanism to flip that switch off. You need to have conscious control over focus and defocus. This is one of the eightfold, or those are two of the folds of the eightfold path of Patanjali's eightfold path of yoga, which is the fourth noble truth of Buddhism. To actualize the exit from suffering, you must develop, in part, beginner's mind. It's that stillness, and you just keep coming back to it. There's nothing really there to develop except your muscle of awareness as to when you get lost and where that space is to come back to. It's right there, immediately available to you, my friend, and I know you know it. So one of the best ways ties into my number 3 point is the breath. Breath is one of your most direct access points to settling the mind and to developing a relationship with a beginner's mind, so that you have space to think, man, I need to go to the gym. So the breath is essentially your manual mode for your entire nervous system. If you can downshift your nervous system, you can change the chemical constituency of your mind and your body for free by yourself. Now, here's the thing. Your real gear shifters are down in your stomach, my friend. Right here is where a lot of this trauma is going to store as well. So one of the things that prevents us from wanting to go forward with breath work, with breathing, with even wanting to count to 10, you know, these pieces of advice are useful, but they negate the fact that there's a huge set of traumas. In yogic terminology, you might call them gruntis. There's different gruntis, or different balls of karmic energy or blockage that you have to overcome in order to ascend the ranks of your spiritual journey. And so the breath is your direct gear shift, like this, right? I'm gonna put the brake on so I don't actually drive anywhere, but this is like ooh, right? Okay, so this is your respiratory system. And what is the particular organ that you use to navigate your respiratory system? It's not just your lungs, it's actually your diaphragm, which sits right here, which is where it's like a pocket of muscle that inflates and deflates your lungs. And we store, especially as men, we store tons of trauma right there, which is what prevents us from actually utilizing one of the most effective tools in mental health, spiritual health that we have available to us. And daily life, it is the thing that will keep you grounded. You will not use it if you are not processing the trauma that's in your system. A lot of that trauma is processed over time. The gruntis are the particular blockages that prevent us from moving forward. These are something that in spiritual practice you spend years and years and years developing a relationship with, so that you unravel them genuinely, not a quick fix and, oh, I don't even care about anything anymore, I have no material desires except for, and all of a sudden you're in a fight or flight mode, and you do. So anyways, my friend, number 3 is the breath. And if you want to get deeper on this topic with me one-on-one, check out the link in the bio below for my one-on-one sessions. I've done a lot of this kind of work. I've been trained in breath work, and I also have found a lot of healing and results in my own life. So if you have some questions or want to chat with me further, that's where you'll do it. Okay, and my final one, I got some notes right here. Oh, my friend, here's the deal, right? on the spiritual path and on really any path in developing yourself, health, wellness, you're going to hear a lot about food, eating, fasting, intermittent fasting, so on and so forth. There's a time and place for everything. There's a time and place to be fasting. There's a time and place to be bulking up on calories, right? And so one of the things that I often like to do, I'll speak for myself at least, I like to not eat until later in the afternoon, especially if I'm busy. I like to have an empty stomach because I feel like I have a certain additional surge of energy and ease in my life. However, on the days that you are effed up, how to unfuck your day, the last and final tip is to eat something, bro. I know this sounds like rudimentary, like I'm talking to you like you're 5, but when you're in this effed up narrow tube of understanding, of processing the world around you, you're essentially, your brain is shut off all the capacities that would let you think this thing through. That's why your mind is not really your friend in this context. That's why you have to implore different faculties first. So get simple, baby. Just go eat a snack, man. You're freaking hangry. I'm sometimes hangry trying to figure out what the grand problem is of all of society, when in reality it's because I need a ding dong, guys. I know you know what I'm saying. I know you feel me. It's sometimes you just need a ding dong. And you know what? Everyone's a little less hangry when they get a ding dong. You already know. So my friend, I hope that was useful. I hope that you go eat something, whatever you're into. I like to eat tuna sometimes. I have these packets of tuna, sometimes ding dongs, but you already know. All right, my friend, I hope you unfuck your day today and get back on track. I'm here in Denver, Colorado for the first time. It's honestly Karenville, but it's all good. I'm gonna run Uber for a few days, and I'm gonna go live in the mountains with my friend in Colorado after this, because life is good, and man, I can't wait to get out of the city. All right, my friend, unfuck your day. Love you so much. Peace out. Much love.